Good morning from Milan, day 6 of the Winter Olympic Games. I am coming to you today from the Piazza Sicilia, where, as you can see, there are these Cold War-ass looking ping pong tables right in the middle of it all. And hey, speaking of the Cold War, the grand myth of the Olympics is that it's an apolitical environment. Anytime you get athletes together competing under their flags against one another, it is by definition political. It's just a question of whose politics are sanctioned and whose are forbidden. Which brings me to our story of the day. Ukrainian skeleton pilot Vladislav Heraskevich has been removed from the Olympics, not permitted to race. Why? Because he had a helmet depicting his fellow athletes and coaches who have died during the Russian invasion of Ukraine over the last 4 years. Here's an image of the helmet. It's very important to take a look at this. It's what he wants. He had been wearing it all throughout his training sessions. He'd been making repeated references to the helmet and to the war in Ukraine over the course of his press conferences here. But when he wanted to wear the helmet in actual competition, the IOC said no. They attempted to find a compromise, wanted to see if he could wear a black armband or something like that, and he said no. The IOC's point is that they want to keep the games themselves free from political statements. And to the IOC's credit, they have bent a lot on this issue in the last few Olympics. They've allowed athletes to make statements on medal stands. They've during press conferences before their races. They just try to keep the games themselves, the actual competitions, sacred. And you can understand from one perspective why that might be. You know, there's a difference between a skeleton pilot wearing a helmet for 1 minute going down the run there, and say a hockey player wearing a political statement for 2 hours on the ice. You can understand it from that point. However, Russia is not here because the IOC has made the political statement, or has made the decision that Russia's invasion of Ukraine was grounds for kicking them out of the Olympics. You cannot get more of a political statement than that. So there is a little bit of do as I say, not as I do. Plus, for anyone who's thinking, well, it's just one little run. Why can't he put the politics aside for one little run? It's bigger than that. For them, for people who believe deeply in a cause like the war in Ukraine, the Olympics is the distraction. The real life, the reality of their war back in their homeland, whatever that may be, that is the focus of their lives. And the Olympics is a nice distraction. So this is something that's going to be ongoing throughout these games. You're already seeing athletes protest the IOC's decision. We'll have to see what happens next. But for right now, that's where things stand. Ukrainian skeleton pilot out of the Olympics because of his helmet. This was an image of his father upon getting the news. Very, very heartbreaking stuff. And more from Milan in the next few days. Leave your comments, thoughts. I'm sure that you have plenty